Tuesday. For you, the day M. Bison destroyed your village was the worst day of your life. For him, it was Tuesday. No, this is genuinely the best birthday card I have ever gotten in my entire life. This was put together by Erin the Gay Gremlin, if you ever see her. I know a bunch of people here contributed to it. I want to show it off on stream because it's very fucking special to me. Literal cardboard mantis. This is on my desk right now. Cardboard mantis. The back half of it, which I'm sure everyone here knows about, but I'm still going to show it off. Actually, just like a conglomerate of people from chat. Like messages from them. This blew me away. Is that a Nando's? We are in fact in a Nando's. That's true, that's true. I'm especially a large fan of Flink's post here because it combines not only the haiku but also the concern of, hey, it won't take up too much space, will it? Like the entire messages got here. Call out everyone's messages? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Read yours? Yeah, fuck it. I'll go through them. How about that? Sounds like fun. We got a haiku from Flink. In Revolt chat stays. Space Mantis should have a space. It does already. How's that? It won't take up too much space, will it? From Flink. We've got Rucker with happy birthday. There we are. There we are. Space Mantis should have a space in it. It already does. It already does. I don't want to talk about it. This is from Quiche, you sniggle, and it is one of the, I think it's like the hardest I ever saw her laugh when we first started dating. I think there's a store here called Sniggle, which is a weird name, but we saw it in the mall one day. I just made the joke of like elbowing her in the side and being like, hey there, baby, you sniggle? I think it is genuinely the hardest I've made her laugh, like, in the first year of knowing her. And it occasionally still comes back up. So as much as that's a little in-joke, everyone can enjoy it. I just really enjoy that. It I don't know, that really touched me to see. Mantis is love. Love be to the mantis from Kranen, who's here in the chat, who is my oldest friend by a wide margin. If you ever hear... Wasn't it originally a Tinder message you got? Yes, it was! Oh my god, yeah, that wasn't even what prompted it. Yes, I got a message on Tinder that was just this. And then I made a joke about the Smiggle store. You're right. I forgot that origin. Yeah, I had a mess, because, sorry, if anytime I've been on Tinder, don't look at my dirty nails, by the way. Anytime I've been on Tinder, I have gotten the most low effort messages of all fucking time, and the one that takes the cake is this one where I literally just got messaged, you sniggle? And I was sniggle, but I didn't want to talk to them. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Thank you. Yeah, no, Kranen, my oldest friend by a wide margin. I've told so many fucking stories about Kranen. As a American, we do not always get his presents because time zones and so forth. Totally okay. This isn't a call-out post. But I literally think I met Kranen when I was 9 years old. I think. Like, so unbelievably long ago. I don't know, the internet's a great thing where I can have a friend that, like, functionally I am nowhere near that is very easily my oldest friend. I love that. Stop building the dad % challenge. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. From Aaron. We have constantly and consistently pranked each other with the Shrek soundtrack. To the degree that I used it in Trombone Champ that one time. Which is always a good time. I don't know why. I don't know where it began. Yeah, there's a limit on it. It's mostly for fun. I think Dad % is definitely happening. Uncharacteristically early. Well, I'm gonna be a late mantis pretty soon. I am gonna be a late mantis eventually. We have a lot to get through. Oh my goodness. You're an awesome friend and an amazing streamer in person, Chris Mack. Chris is one of my favorite people on Twitch, honestly. If you haven't even checked out Chris Mack Games, please check out Chris Mack Games. I think there's a shout out command now, isn't there? There is. Follow Chris. Chris is great. Chris is a good streamer. We enjoy Chris. I met Chris through Aqua, and they have been one of the most enthusiastic people I've, like, enjoyed the company of, basically ever. I love people who have enthusiasm for the things they do, and Chris most definitely does. So, put it that way. The early mantis gets the space. Streamer! From the bottom of my heart, I am forever grateful I stumbled across this community and that you welcomed me with open arms. You're a motherfucking delight and have made my days brighter. Rad. This is great. I remember the night we met Rat. And I say we met Rat because it was such a weird stream. So, I was playing DBD, and I'll be honest, a huge portion of my attention when I'm playing DBD is trying to subvert, like, people's shitty personalities in DBD. I say this absolutely loving the game, and knowing a bunch of people here know me from playing DBD, even though I don't have that many hours, and I actually don't play a ton of DBD, to be honest. Whenever I stream DBD, I'm usually just trying to keep people from being angry. Like people in the lobbies. So we had this string of lobbies that were just so fucking weird. So for example, we had a Huntress that barely managed one hook. We're all escaping an endgame. And everyone just starts teabagging at the gate as I walk out. I don't remember how it happened, but someone called me out in endgame chat about like, oh no, I donated a kill to that Huntress. That's right, I parked underneath the hook and just pointed at it, because like, she had a rough game. Like, I don't really care about escaping, she can have a kill. I got called out in in-game chat of like, oh, you're feeding a BM a kills, like, she tunneled me. She got one hook, dude, she didn't tunnel you, for one thing. And just, like, having to point out to people that, like, if you want to see a change in the environment, you have to start. Like, you can't BM people BMing you. You have to just fix shit. So we had a string of games like that, where everyone was just miserable for some reason. And we ended up in a lobby with a Cheryl whose name was, if I remember correctly, their name was I'm Stoned, Please Don't Tunnel. I'm pretty sure their name was I'm Stoned, Please Don't Tunnel. So what I did was I equipped their exact cosmetics, and I said, don't worry, bud, I got you. And basically all we did was whenever that Cheryl was in chase, I would slip into behind the chase and just pretend I was them, basically. Just confuse the killer a little bit. And it worked. We got a 4-man out on a very strong clown. And everyone in the endgame chat was so enthusiastic and happy of going like, yes, we had a great time. And as if, like, putting a perfect period on the end of the game, the killer in endgame chat is just like, you're cringe as fuck, I hate you. Because 4 people were having a good time. Like, literally, the 4 survivors, I was solo queue, I think they were a 3-man, we're all just having a good time and saying like, oh, that was really cool, this, that, and the other, GG, well played, and stuff like that. The killer, live streaming at the time, by the way, is like, you're cringe, I hate you. And that game was the game Rat found Twitch, and they caught me just like maniacally laughing as I was sliding in and like hiding behind this Cheryl and stuff like that. At one point, it's in one of the old Twitch highlights, both us Cheryls are down on the same pallet, and the killer doesn't know who to pick up. It's fucking hilarious. I love that clip so much. Yeah, but he lost the game. Loser. Banned from esports forever. No, but that was the night I met Rat, and that just so much fun. It's so much fun. Like, that marked a sort of turnaround for me of like, this doesn't feel like shit to do anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because like, not only was that game really good, but we had someone that genuinely came into chat and just obviously appreciated what we were doing. It was a fucking huge 180 of how the night had been going. I will genuinely always remember it. Felt great. Felt fantastic. Have an even better day, Aqua. I think it was during the Spyro streams I told the story about how I met Aqua. To make a long story super short, we were part of a guild with unbelievably horrible management. We replaced the management and have just been friends since, along with our friend. I don't know what name I should refer to them by. I won't dox them, but there's another friend involved as well. Thought about asking Aaron to leave a big empty space for me. That's despicable. No, but I've been friends with Aqua for like Oh, since I was living in Perth, so like a couple years now, definitely. And we've just, I don't know. There's people in your life that... I'm trying to think of a way to word this. I think we all have people in our life. Yuck, Perth. Imagine Perth. Said by a Melbourne gay. I raspberry at you, Rain. No, I'm kidding. I wish I was a Melbourne gay. Sounds like the life to be. No, but like, I think there's people in your life who... You can have like good friends and close friends and best friends and etc, etc. But there's also a second evaluation you have. And this is not a judgment call on people. Different people have different comfort levels. Different people have different degrees of like what kind of conflict they'll resolve with. Worst enemies, you can have worst enemies too. But this metric you have for some friends is like how fucking ride or die they are for you. Do you know what I mean? There are friends that I will have who I'm well aware like they are conflict averse for various reasons, or we have like certain things that we don't agree on, things like that. It's totally fine. They're still good friends. Aqua is one of the friends, if I had to make like gun to my head a list of people I know will fucking have my back, Aqua is literally top of the list. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Aqua is top of the list. There's a few more names on there. Most of them know who they are, but my appreciation for Aqua is that I really feel like we are two people that live to support each other. And that fucking matters to me. That is chef's kiss. That is everything I could expect from a friend. Knowing Aqua has been amazing. You're my worst enemy. I'd dub you in for a Kit Kat, to be honest. Rain, are you trying to level out the positivity? Is that what's going on here? Be honest, are you mad you're not on the card? No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Exactly. I respect that. You know what? I respect that. That's great. I love you too, Aqua. Goodness gracious. You go off like a good hom. Love beat. You could guess for a million years, and unless you've seen the Twitch clip of this, you will not know. You will not know what this means. You won't. This is like a secret language, right? This is sickening. Prepare to vomit rainbows, my friend. Hey, maybe that's where the name comes from. But, so we were watching a friend of ours stream Elden Ring. Oh, this still gets me to this day. I might go find the clip because it is one of the funniest misunderstandings I've ever had. So it's an early morning stream. Everyone's kind of tired and just banging around. Friend of ours is streaming Elden Ring. And very distracted because they're having a terrible time with a boss or something, I don't remember. So lack of enthusiasm all around. And just in chat, Beatnik curiously asks, does hummus go off? Now, I did a quick Google search and I found out, you know, like the expiration dates of hummus, whether it's safe to eat, things like that, because clearly he was setting up to have himself a nice lunch. Now, the streamer playing Elden Ring did not interpret does hummus go off that way. They interpreted it as like, does this song go off? So for the next 2 or 3 minutes, they just started talking about like, yeah, I think hummus goes off, but you know, I'm a tzatziki bitch myself, you know, like you can't get past that, you know, I like that spice and stuff like that. I think hummus can go off, and like just evaluating the quality of hummus. And I had to write in chat, you utter donkey, he's talking about expiration dates. Now, up until now, there is a convincing argument for, oh, is this just a bit? Are they playing it off for laughs? No, they inconsolably laughed for about 5 minutes. They had no fucking idea they'd misunderstood this. And to this day, we still talk about going off like hummus. And I love that. Beat is a very good old friend. I met Beat through probably RLO, probably Rocket League Oceania. I didn't really interact with them much. I did a little bit of esports stuff, but not much. I played a few tournaments, things like that. But Beat was one of those names you'd always pop up with. And I've mentioned, this is where the origin of the, like, if there's one criticism of Beatnik, it's that he's just too nice of a guy. That's the origin of that joke, is because back in the Rocket League scene, it was fraught with young men who had very fiery opinions on various things, because it's an esports game. So everyone had problems with everyone. I have never and will never hear anyone have a problem with Beatnik. Beatnik was universally loved in the community. He was a good guy, a good friend, a good player. I sound like I'm giving a eulogy because I used the words was, but I think most of us don't play Rocket League anymore, so that's where the past tense comes from. Yeah, I've literally never heard someone say a negative word about Beat. He's one of the most supportive and kind individuals that I have ever had the privilege of meeting. And I met him in real life, and I'll tell you, that man is the slowest toast eater of all time. There's another little in-joke just in case he watches this fucking thing. I have met Beat in person. He has a great handshake. He has a better hug. I'm putting that out there. We have Jakey down here. Hello, Ellie. The Mantis is calling to you. We'll be sure to drop by more streams soon. We need to catch up on some games. Love, Jakey. Jake is a mutual friend of Quiche. I met Jake through Quiche. Jake is... So, I knew of Jake before I knew Jake. So, when I first started dating Quiche, or maybe a little bit after that, I knew that Jake was Quiche's best friend. Now, if you've ever dated someone that talks about their best friend a lot, or very obviously has people in their life that have a huge influence over them, you know it's super fucking intimidating to meet that person. It's so intimidating because you know for a fact they're like the secret agent, you know? If you don't win that person over, they can tank your rep. They can tank your rep so hard, right? So I didn't know a goddamn thing about Jake whatsoever at first. I simply knew that Quiche had a best friend named Jake. And there arose a point in time where I think going between like classes or meeting or something like that, I would have to, not necessarily have to, but in waiting for Quiche, I would be around Jake, who I'd never met before, alone. And in my head, as an anxious individual, what I'm thinking is like, fuck, I have to chameleon this guy. Like, however he acts, I've got to act like... I'm going through every doomsday prep in my mind of thinking like, oh my god, I'm about to meet someone that's going to judge me, you know? Because I am incredibly socially anxious as a person. Within 2 minutes, Jake was on his phone looking up funny YouTube videos that he wanted me to laugh along with him to. And it was so utterly disarming that I had such a long conversation with him, I almost missed Quiche. Jake is a wonderfully kind human being. Jake is one of the more supportive people I've ever met. One of the more interesting people you could possibly know. If you want to talk to someone about film, talk to Jake. Jake is a very, very near and dear friend. It's a very kind message. And yeah, I've been close friends with Jake ever since. He's a good guy. I don't know what to say. That Jake, such a damn nice guy. Right in the bottom right, we have the best for last, I guess. The best for last, how about that? How about that? He'd string me up if he heard me say that. Hello, subject to number 12. I've been meaning to reach out to you about your spacesuit's extended warranty. Doc. Doc I met through streaming Sifu when I first came back to streaming. It's kind of funny. I think I bonded with Doc first, just over really fucking liking the Sifu soundtrack. And lucky for him, Sifu was like all I played for like a month, honestly. It was my favorite thing. We have a bunch of challenge runs still on the YouTube. We put a ton of time into Sifu, so we got a ton of time out of Doc. But more than just that, Doc is someone that has been willing to hear me out on pretty much anything. He is a very fascinating individual that I wish for the absolute best in the world. Just a lovely friend. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words because Doc has been such a mainstay of this channel, like really giving a shit about it when no one else did. You know what I mean? And like really giving a shit about me as well. Not necessarily when no one else did, but you know, it's very rare that you have someone find a random channel online and actually like adamantly care about it the way that Doc does. Doc is a fantastic human being. I remember there was a point in time somewhat recently he had to sort of mournfully say that like schedules don't line up that much these days and we're going to see less of him, which has proven somewhat true, somewhat not necessarily true. But Doc has been a absolutely incredible person to know. And I do await the day that he finally inevitably assassinates me. Because it will happen. I've seen it in the cards, I don't know what to say. I know for a fact Doc will kill me eventually. Which, you know, I'm at peace with. I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with that. Yeah, this card is not everyone. This card is not everyone that supported me. This card is not everyone that supported the channel. But this card is a lot of people I have a lot of very near and dear memories for, who, yeah, I view as in my court, you know? People that back me up, people that I back up. And I respect that, and I admire that, and I love these people. This is the best birthday card I've ever gotten, just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.